It's been another busy week in the world of weight loss and GLP-1s. This week we have stories that include things about the Ozempic tongue, Eli Lilly's massive $5.3 billion bet on Mounjaro and Zepbound, and Novo Nordisk disputing Bernie Sanders' GLP-1 pricing complaints. Big surprise there. Would you like to start us out?
Sure. Welcome to our channel, The Downsized. Today is Sunday, June 2nd, and this is our 11th episode. I'm Lorraine Durham.
And I'm Christopher Durham.
And this is The Downsized, where we share our GLP-1 weight loss adventure, tips and tricks, and the latest GLP-1, Mounjaro, Zepbound, Wegovy, Ozempic, Tirzepatide, and semaglutide news. Please like and subscribe to our channel.
Every time you like and subscribe, you'll be notified if we do a new video. We've got a lot of cool stuff going on this summer. You'll want to make sure to catch it. The obligatory legally, we are not doctors or medical professionals. Please always consult a qualified healthcare professional before starting any weight loss medication or treatment. Do not take our word for it. I am not a doctor. Lorraine is not a doctor.
Okay. Do we want to give this week's weekly weigh-in totals?
Why don't you start?
Okay. This is the 33rd week of our weight loss journey. This week, I pretty much held even. I was down 0.4 pounds. I don't even know how that happened really, but I'm down 47.4 total since we started on September 29th of 2023. My current dosage is 10 milligrams of compounded Tirzepatide, and I'm on my third week of this dose. If you'd like to start your weight loss journey, you can use my Mochi Health discount code. It's in the description to save $40 on your first GLP-1 delivery, and you can go to joinmochi.com. I'm pretty much at my goal weight. My goal weight is between 145 and 150. I'm at 145.4. Now I'm just trying to maintain. Through my compounding journey, I got all the way up to the dose of 12.5 milligram. I never went to the 15, which is the top dose, because I hit my weight loss goal. Now going down in dosage to see where I need to maintain, where my hunger levels are. This is my third week of dropping down to the 10 milligram dose. And I think it's working pretty well for me. I do notice a little bit of food noise coming in, but I don't know if that's just been because we've been around so much more food this week. But Christopher, give your totals and we'll talk about that.
How many weeks have you been on maintenance now?
3.
Okay, well, let's add that in so we're tracking that because I think people would be interested in that as well. My starting weight was 285.4. My current weight is 218, so I actually maintained. Now, it's been an up and down week. If you watched this last few weeks, we went to Amsterdam this past week. When we landed on Wednesday, I weighed on Thursday morning when I got back, and I was up 3 pounds.
And I was flat. I was exactly the same.
Now, up 3 pounds, whatever. I always feel like I'm up from airplanes.
Yeah, me too. I usually am.
It's a 6-hour flight.
You swell up,
Yeah.
you retain water, you're eating more on the airplane, you're just sitting there.
We had a good trip and we threw a party, so there's plenty of reason to be up a pound or two. I wasn't too worried about that. But when I weighed in this morning, I was exactly where I was last week.
Oh, you're flat to your...
Flat?
Yeah, and I really think this medicine just makes such a big difference in... Even like your water weight gain, I think it keeps it flat. But anyway.
Well, I didn't swell as much. I don't know if that's the medicine or if that's the fact that I now weigh 67.4 pounds less than I did last time I flew to Amsterdam.
Yeah, I didn't feel swollen at all. My rings were a little bit tighter, but not much at all. I didn't think my feet swelled up at all. And we sat in just the regular coach.
We'll talk about Amsterdam a little bit more
Yeah.
in a minute. Let me get through this weekly weigh-in. So my current dosage is at 12.5 milligrams. If you watched last week, it was my 7th week on this dosage. I have a colonoscopy coming up tomorrow, so I have skipped what would have been 8th week to give me about a 10-day gap from the last shot.
The doctor recommended a 7-day gap.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
At minimum.
Yep.
So you'll have a 10-day gap.
Yeah, I think it's actually 11, but close enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've skipped that dose. We'll see. I would have had a dose on Friday, so a couple days ago. I'm okay. I mean, we'll talk about what we did this weekend and everything. I haven't seen anything overwhelmingly terrible yet. And now I'm into full prep for the colonoscopy, so I can't eat anything. I couldn't eat anything after breakfast, and I've got to drink things. And
The yucky drink.
well, if you've ever had a colonoscopy, it's a cleanse like nobody's business.
You lose 5 pounds. I
we'll
did when
see.
I had one. Yeah, you have to see if you.
We'll see.
But then you gain it back once you start eating again.
For those of you who have been following along, I started on a compounded Tirzepatide for a few weeks, and then went to Mounjaro, and then went to Zepbound, of which I still prefer the pen experience over the needle experience, but it costs more, and as we all know, we can't get it right now. And now I think I'm on the 3rd or 4th week of the compounded Tirzepatide again, and it seems to be working just fine. No complaints. Again, we're using Mochi Help. Would you like to invite them to be a part of the downsized dish?
So if you'd like to come on our channel and be interviewed about your weight loss journey, whether you're just starting, whether you're in the middle, whether you're on maintenance, or if you just want to do like a question and answer session with us, please let us know in the comments. Leave your email address and I'll reach out to you, or reach out to me at ldurham@folio28.com.
I think we've done 4 or 5 interviews. We skipped a couple of weeks because of traveling and stuff, and we've got one scheduled this coming week. I think there might be 2 scheduled actually coming up. But we would love to have you. We will do as many interviews as we possibly can. If you ask, we're probably going to do one with you. Everybody likes to see where you are in your journey. Everybody has a slightly
It's
different
helpful
story.
for other people to see what's going on with different people's weight loss stories.
What were we up to this week?
Amsterdam. We took a quick trip to Amsterdam. We left on Saturday out of Charlotte. We came back on Wednesday. So a quick trip. We had a business event there that we put on, and we also got a chance to do a little bit of touring while we were there. We got to eat some Dutch food and drink some Heineken, which is made there.
Heineken is awfully delicious in it.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not really a beer person.
No, we're
but
not beer people, but
I do enjoy one in Amsterdam. It's like it's a little bit fresher, and I'm sure a lot of you on this medication, alcohol, it doesn't make me sick, but I don't care about it. It's just not.
I have the urge to drink
No,
it.
I don't.
On the plane going over, we took the overnight flight out of Philadelphia to Amsterdam. We left at 6 p.m. and we got to Amsterdam at 8 a.m. or something like that. And so they feed you on the airplane. You get on the airplane and there's dinner. And it was like a chicken. It wasn't great.
It was okay.
Roll, some crackers, some Laughing Cow cheese, a little salad. And then they come around with the drink cart. You can have all the wine. We were in coach. You can have all the wine you want, I guess. I had a glass thinking maybe it would help me sleep a little bit on the plane. It did not. I had really trouble sleeping on this flight over. And it was just uncomfortable. I don't know if because my body is different, I have less padding to sit on. If that made it uncomfortable, if just the seat size was uncomfortable. I don't know. What did you think about the plane ride?
The food was the food.
Yeah,
there was healthy enough options. I ate the protein in the salad, and it was fine. And I don't drink on planes generally, so that's not a big deal to me. The seats, I'm almost 70 pounds lighter than I was last time, and last time in coach was difficult because I just have to wedge in between the seats. I never had to use a seatbelt extender, but it was tight, and so it just was very uncomfortable. Was it still uncomfortable? Yeah, because you're in the back of the. It's not like they don't really design it to be a comfortable experience. But I agree. The lack of padding is noticeable on those hard seats.
Yeah. And usually we sit across the aisle from each other because I don't like being in the middle seat. He was too big to be in the middle seat, honestly. I just was like, why do I have to be in the middle seat? And he's wedged up against me. So we took to sitting across from each other in the aisle. And then on a couple of flights, we were actually side by side, and it was fine. We both are just taking up so much less room that it was.
You had a little old lady next to you on one side.
Yeah.
It was fine.
I did have a little old lady coming home, but she was nice. Yeah, so the plane ride over, and then when we were there, we took a nap immediately. We had a room ready for us. I wanted to be able to nap because I know I don't sleep well on planes. We took a nap, got up about lunchtime, Amsterdam time. When we got up from our nap, we wanted to go find something to eat and some coffee, so we found a little cafe. And the Dutch are famous for their pancakes, which are like crepes.
Yeah.
I have a picture of one we can put up. But I got the Dutch pancake with apples and cinnamon, and it was delicious. And I started eating it, and I took about 3 or 4 bites of it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this. Yeah, I really wasn't that hungry, and then you got a good looking dish that had some eggs and some toast and some.
There's eggs and bacon and stuff, but even that I couldn't eat.
Yeah, so I ate a couple bites
More
of
than
yours.
half of it. I mean, it
yeah,
wasn't-
for the protein.
Dutch food is interesting because it is a lot of kind of bar and beer and fried foods. They have these things called bitterballen that are like little fried balls of gravy that are delicious, but God knows how many calories are in them.
Yeah.
The other side of it is, though, it's a port city, so there's a lot of seafood. There's a lot of influences from all over the world, France and Indonesia and Germany and all that. We had a wide range of things. What did you think of the rest of the food in general? How was it traveling with the medication?
I just wasn't that hungry. I think when we hadn't eaten and then we got up the first day, I was hungry. But even like getting up in the morning, we had breakfast included with our room, and it was a buffet where you could order. They would bring you made to order eggs, or you could get off the buffet. So I really liked that because I could get breakfast bacon or sausage, and we had a croissant like every day. They had a coffee machine. You get a latte. It just really an awesome breakfast buffet. So we ate well. Like we ate 3 meals a day. We tried to focus on protein. I think one day we ate in a cafe and split a cheeseburger for lunch, which honestly was fine. We ate another cafe for lunch, and I got a club sandwich that had grilled chicken on it, hard-boiled egg, lettuce, tomato, white bread. I think I could eat about half of it. And the French fries there are amazing. They probably fry them in the worst things possible, but they're delicious. And then for dinners, we ate at a Chinese
Called the Sea Palace, right on the canal. Fabulous place.
right across from our hotel. And we didn't eat, I mean, I felt full after that meal. I felt like I ate too much at that meal. We ordered a lot of dumplings.
It was like a set meal, so they just
brought us stuff. And then our other dinner was, after our event, we went up to the rooftop of the hotel and got some little snacky things. I think some fried shrimp. And
It was like Asian, too. It was Asian, too. I think it was
Yeah.
chicken teriyaki on a skewer.
yeah,
But little,
very
like
light,
tapas kind of-
which were fine. And at the party, I mean, I drank some wine. I think you drank a beer too. And no ill effects for me. It was fine. And then our last dinner we went to this restaurant you picked. I don't remember the name. It was
Rijssel.
it was French-ish.
Yeah, it's like a little French bistro-y kind of place.
And I had a great piece of halibut. It was delicious. I had great bread. My appetizer was asparagus with a cream mushroom sauce. It was fantastic. And we got a bottle of wine. We ate with one of Christopher's business partners and his salesperson. And it was great.
Honestly, it wasn't even terribly expensive. It was like $40 for 3
Yeah.
courses or something. So you could spend that much at Chili's or something here, right?
Yeah, but we didn't snack. Like we passed a lot of ice cream places, gelato places, candy stores, and I was just like, oh, I'd really like to try some of that ice cream. I love ice cream, but I just was like, I am just not hungry. I just didn't want it. Like I wanted it in my head because I love ice cream, but then I was like, I don't want to wait in line for it. It's fine.
Well, and then the way the travel fell, we didn't have to do shots traveling. Well,
Yeah.
we've got a good bit of traveling coming up through the next part of the year.
We
I'm sure
will
we'll
travel
have to
with
travel with
shots
shots,
coming
so
up.
We'll do some videos about that as well. And then we actually did some more active things. So we went to the Rijksmuseum and
did.
saw the whole Rembrandt exhibit.
Right, Dutch masters.
Big, beautiful museum. And we went on a 3-hour bicycle tour. I know you loved that.
Yeah, I've done biking. When I did my triathlons, I did biking. That was always my weakest piece. I'm always worried that like a car's going to hit me or I'm going to fall off. And so in Amsterdam, everyone rides bikes, like to work, like to school. That's their mode of transportation. There's more bikes than cars.
Yep.
The cars are pretty much all electric, so there's a lot of Teslas, and they're very quiet, so you don't really hear the cars sneaking up on you. So that was a little disturbing to me.
But it's small old streets that have been there since 1400 or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
So they're cobblestone-y type streets, or they're big intersections that we had to cross all these lanes of traffic with this biking group. And somehow I ended up at the back, and then the light changed, and I was afraid to go. And so I kind of got cut off from the group at one point, and I thought, oh, I've lost them.
She was never actually
I'm lost in
It was
Amsterdam.
a straight road. I could still see that.
I wasn't worried about getting lost from the group because our guide had said, if you get lost, just stay where you are and I'll come back for you. Don't try to go off and find us. And I had my phone, so I always feel confident that I can get to wherever I need to go if I have my phone. Yeah, Christopher came back for me. Thanks for
I
coming.
never left you.
Well, I couldn't see him at one point. And it wasn't like 3 hours of straight bike riding. Like, we'd ride to a place. The guide would tell us the history and the things about the place.
Oldest wooden house. It was a monastery. There was-
Old warehouse.
We rode through Vondel Park, which is this big kind of central park.
Yeah, that was
park.
that was
lovely.
nice. We stopped there and had a
Coffee.
Diet Coke. And there's no Diet Coke in Amsterdam. It's all Coke Zero.
Coke Light.
I think it was Coke Zero we had a couple times. But yeah. What else about Amsterdam?
Well, but let's talk about the biking a little bit more because
right.
3-hour bike trip. Mm-hmm. Was it a problem?
My butt hurt. The seat was a little too high for me. Like, I wasn't worn out or anything like that. But the seat was a little too high for me, so when I would have to come to a stop suddenly because a car was coming or something, like at one point I stopped and then I put my foot down, but my foot didn't touch the ground, so I slowly fell off. I did fall off, and everybody was, "Oh, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just embarrassed or whatever."
Because me, talking about non-scale victories, well, I wouldn't have even done that trip last year.
No.
No, it wouldn't have been. Now, this time,
Was it easy for you to do?
yeah, it was easy. It was no problem.
Yeah. It wasn't a hard
I
thing.
mean, it's predominantly a flat city. There's traffic and things, so there's challenges there. But I thought it was fun. I'd do it again.
I would do something else. The cars would come whizzing up on, and the problem is because the bike riders in Amsterdam that ride to and from work and school and whatever every day are so experienced, they have no patience for tourists who are in their way, like I found. Because when I was waiting at that stoplight, there was a little bicycle light that told you green, and I'm like nervous to go, and somebody behind me yells green light, and I'm like, okay, I'm going as fast as I can. It's just a whole nother thing when in a different city, in a foreign city where you're not familiar with the language or the rules and
The
things.
Dutch people are very nice. Though.
They are very nice.
Then we came back Wednesday. Actually, we were at the airport at the crack of dawn in Amsterdam and flew back, and I think we landed back in Charlotte about 3:30, 4 o'clock. Our kids came and picked us up.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful to have children who can drive. So that was a good thing. And we hit the ground running.
We lost one of the bags, didn't make it back.
Yeah, it came
1 out
back
of
2 days
5.
later.
Yeah.
It came back 2 days later.
Yeah. Took a
We
later
hit the ground
flight.
running from our youngest daughter's high school graduation.
So we came back on Wednesday, and then on Thursday I was basically cleaning the house all day and getting ready all day because Christopher cooked for 40 people for a graduation brunch that we're planning on Saturday. So then on Friday, my parents came, and Christopher's uncles Ted and Mike came, and my older son Alexander came. He lives about an hour and a half away. They all went to the graduation with us to see our daughter Sarah graduate. And it was a very nice ceremony, not too long. And then we went out to dinner afterwards at a place that was near where the graduation was, which was, they had made to order pizza, pasta, salads. Italian, basically. I got the personal kind of pizza, ate about half of it. I was going to share it with Christopher, but it turns out the kind I picked he didn't like. And he was also sharing with Sarah. And I think you ate some of Sarah's and some
I
of
think I
mine.
had a piece here and a piece, but they were small.
Yeah.
But it was-
I think we brought some home that's in the refrigerator. And my mom was all like, what are you going to eat? So I told my mom about the medication and the journey or whatever. And my mom has always, my whole life, been dieting or trying to lose weight, or she's trying to maintain her weight. I think right now she's just basically maintaining her weight. She's at her goal weight. She's all, what are you going to eat? What can you eat on this? And I'm like, I'm having a pizza. I might
eating
only,
your
and that's the beauty of it, is we're eating anything we wanted. Maybe you can't eat what you did before, but because before I've finished one of those whole pizzas there before.
Yeah.
or maybe all the pieces but one.
It's a small plate. It's a plate.
It's,
size,
yeah. And then the other night, I think I ate 1 or 2 pieces, like half of it. And I was like, okay, done. So.
And then we woke up Saturday morning and 40 people showed up for brunch.
Yeah, got up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and my daughter wanted donuts from this local donut place that the same ones we got for my birthday. So my task was to go to the donut shop and buy 5 dozen donuts. So I did. And then Christopher made like egg casserole and potatoes, sausage. We made biscuits from scratch, gravy. We had a fruit tray, all kinds of great things. And I didn't eat a donut at the brunch, but I did eat one later after everybody left. And it was really good. They were really good. And I also had another one this morning for breakfast. I probably things that I should not eat on a daily basis, but
yeah, some of that stuff downstairs is going to go to the women's shelter. So
yeah, we had some food left over. Yeah, it was very good. And then we were just really exhausted. We still have some cleaning up to do. There's still some stuff in the yard from the party, but it was good.
yeah, it's very good. That was our week. Always exciting. Stay tuned. We're back in the U.S. We'll have a bunch of new videos this week. Maybe we'll try streaming this week. Who knows? If you got questions, think about it. Shoot us a question because we'd love to do a 30 minutes or an hour of a kind of Q&A live stream with you guys. We'll announce it when we do it. Stay tuned, but hopefully that's going to come, and then you'll see some more videos from us. We're like to get to the news because you know how Lorraine loves the news.
People love the news. I don't know.
I
don't know why.
We have a lot of good stuff for the news this week. Eli Lilly announces really a massive $5.3 billion bet on Mounjaro and Zepbound. We all know Eli Lilly, certainly the key player in the pharmaceutical industry and the weight loss biz. They've made a significant move with a $5.3 billion investment in their manufacturing plant in Lebanon, Indiana. This substantial investment is aimed at expanding the production of Zepbound, Mounjaro, and other medications in response to the growing demand for these drugs. This strategic decision underscores Eli Lilly's commitment to scaling up its manufacturing capabilities and bringing the company's total investment at the site to a staggering $9 billion.
It's crazy.
So they're all in times $9 billion, making it the largest manufacturing investment in the company's nearly 150-year history. The Lebanon site will be a key part of Eli Lilly's expansion plans, is set to commence medicine production by the end of 2026. This is a testament to the company's commitment to delivering on its promises. We hope you're going to deliver on your promises. The site will then continue to expand its operations through 2028, increasing Eli Lilly's capacity to manufacture the active ingredient in Zepbound and Mounjaro, Tirzepatide. So it's not just assembling pens. Right, so to date, most of these facilities have really taken a little pen, squirted it in, they're putting it together. This, they're actually going to make Tirzepatide at.
I have to make it somewhere.
So it's bringing it to the U.S. The site will be staffed by 900 employees, including engineers, scientists, operating personnel, and lab technicians, who are all dedicated to really making this medicine available to everybody. During earnings calls last month, and we talked about this, Eli Lilly's chief financial officer, Anat Ashkenazi, informed investors that the company has multiple manufacturing sites either in the process of ramping up or under construction. These include the Lebanon plant that we just discussed, as well as Indiana site and 2 locations in North Carolina, one just up the road from us in Concord and one in Ireland, one in Germany, which we talked about a few weeks ago, and a 7th site recently acquired from Nexus Pharmaceuticals. So what do you think of this move by Eli Lilly?
I think they're spending billions upon billions of dollars. So the potential for these medicines to be outrageously profitable, like nothing we've ever seen before, it's coming. Yeah.
I mean, that gets to $9 billion.
I don't have a point of reference for that. I don't know that they're spending that much money and investing that much money.
The one factor, not all the other factors.
How much money do they expect to make? 10 times their investment, 100 times their investment? Like, this is such a massively, it's just going to be such a massively popular drug. I think when the price comes down to an affordable level for all people, like, I think 1 out of 10 people in America are going to be on this or more.
I would say probably 25% of Americans could be on it.
Telehealth company Ro has launched a new tracker to help patients find GLP-1s amid shortages of those treatments. And the supply tracker could be a valuable tool for many Americans scrambling to obtain GLP-1s, such as Wegovy, Ozempic, Mounjaro, or Zepbound. The tracker aims to make GLP-1 supply information more transparent and accessible, regardless of whether they are enrolled in any of Ro's programs. It's an interactive tool that gives people real-time supply information by drug, dose size, and pharmacy location. Existing drug shortage databases, including one managed by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, often don't share localized data. Ro chose to make the tool free for anyone to use because a, quote, basic inventory management system, end quote, for GLP-1s does not currently exist. Anyone, including doctors, can submit an update to the tracker by completing a report about the availability or shortage of a GLP-1 at a specific pharmacy in their area. Users can also choose to report that information to the FDA automatically. Ro will update the tracker based on its supply data generated when the company's patients logged they had successfully picked up their medication at a pharmacy. The tracker factors in a combination of the speed, location, and number of submissions. One report over 2 months might not influence the tracker, for instance. This means doctors can make more informed choices about the best medication to prescribe to patients. Individuals can sign up for automated email alerts about when a specific GLP-1 drug becomes available at a nearby pharmacy. The tracker also alerts patients about changes to the supply of a GLP-1 on the FDA's drug shortage database. The alerts include instructions for requesting that a pharmacy transfer a patient's prescription to another location with a supply in stock. Patients can also message Ro's care team to request that their prescriptions be transferred on their behalf.
So what do you think of that?
I think it's kind of like Waze. It's only as good as the user inputs that go into it.
Right. So I mean, when this launched last week, I looked, there was hardly any data on it. Now, today, a lot of people had done it. It's interesting. I watched an interview with the CEO from Ro. These are all young app guys, right? They're not doctors per se. I think he's trying to do the right thing, and they're not requiring you to be a patient of theirs. They're not asking you for any money.
If it brings you to their website, then eventually their name, and maybe if you have a problem with your current supplier, your online provider, maybe you switch to Ro because you're familiar with them. It's funny. Our youngest daughter, Sarah, said, "Have you heard about this company, Ro?" Yeah. We're like, yeah, we have. So
they've been running TV commercials and stuff too. I've seen them. So, there's so many telehealth providers right now that we've been happy with Mochi, right?
Yes.
So you have the next story too.
This next story is talking about Novo Nordisk, the manufacturer, disputing Bernie Sanders' GLP-1 pricing complaints. Novo Nordisk is standing its ground after the Senate's Health, Education, Labor, and Pension Help Committee accused the drug maker of threatening to bankrupt the U.S. healthcare system with its pricey GLP-1 medicines. In response to the Health Committee's accusations, Novo Nordisk sent a letter attributing the high cost of their diabetes and obesity drugs to the involvement of what they term as pharma middlemen, pharma benefit managers, and insurance companies. So they're saying, well, it's the insurance company's fault. It's not our fault. The company argued that it only keeps around 60% of the list prices of its GLP-1 drugs in the U.S. after paying out rebates and fees to middlemen. A Novo Nordisk spokesperson confirmed that the letter was sent to Senator Bernie Sanders, who chairs the Help Committee. Novo Nordisk's response comes in the wake of the Help Committee's investigation into the unjustifiably high prices of its semaglutide drugs. The committee highlighted the stark difference in prices, with obesity medicine Wegovy costing $1,349 in the U.S. compared to $140 in Germany and only $92 in the U.K. A similar disparity was noted for the diabetes drug Ozempic, priced at $969 per month in the U.S., according to Sanders. As part of Sanders' drug pricing inquiry, the center also cited findings of a Yale University study that determined Ozempic could be produced profitably for about $5 a month. Shocker. The Novo and its executives have been quick to strike down those points of view. Camilla Silvest, Novo Nordisk's executive vice president of commercial strategy and commercial affairs, said at a company media debrief last week that healthcare systems are constructed in a very different way. She noted that in some countries, patients must pay out-of-pocket costs, while in others, there's a national reimbursement setup. So it's not possible to directly compare prices, she argued. In the letter to Sanders, Novo also argued that the senator's complaints failed to account for the time, manpower, and more than $10 billion invested in the development of its GLP-1 medicines. They invested a lot of money, so now they're going to charge a lot of money. So when they make their investment back, are they going to drop the price? How's that work?
I'm sympathetic that it costs a lot of money to develop drugs. I'm also sympathetic that our system's a hot mess, and the pharmacy benefits managers and the insurance companies and everybody's getting a piece of the pie.
Mm-hmm.
It still feels like if it costs $5 to make and we're paying $1,000 to $1,500 if you don't have insurance, there's some happy middle there. There's some space. I continue to believe the cost is going to come down as they get manufacturing online and they want to.
And I don't agree with the comment that you can't compare the price in the U.S. to the price of other countries. Other countries have much more well-managed healthcare systems
Well, but I think
than
that's
we
what
do.
they're saying. I think what they're saying is if you're in Sweden or Australia or whatever, the government is paying a portion of the fee so the customer doesn't see all the total cost. So the government of Australia pays $1,500. Well, I don't know what the number is. Some number, and you pay $25. So it's socialized medicine. I think as we look at healthcare in general, there's obviously a dramatic need to rethink our healthcare system and really how we're going to market with it. And this just points it out. Yeah, people are still going bankrupt when they're sick, and that seems terrible. And our final story, Ozempic tongue, or the weird way this crazy obesity drug affects your taste. And I think we all knew that. Ozempic, or Wegovy, also known as semaglutide, has been found to change taste sensitivity, taste perception, and the brain's response to sweet tastes in women with obesity, according to new research presented recently. I can't say this woman's name, but she is from Slovenia. Mojica Jenstrel-Sever from the University Medical Center in Slovenia explained that people with obesity often have a decreased sensitivity to taste and an increased desire for sweet and energy-dense foods.
That's me.
Well, when I think about it, it makes sense. So if we have the disease of obesity and that disease is making us basically raising our self-protection level,
Mm-hmm.
and your body's saying, I need calories to survive. So an increased sensitivity to energy dense food is calories.
Yeah, I've always just wanted sweet foods. I don't care about meals, or I had one friend who said, oh, I like meat and potatoes. I like to eat meals. And I'm like, oh no, give me donuts and candy and ice cream and cookies. That I could eat that every day forever. So do you want to continue with the story?
In a study, they worked with 30 obese women, were given 1 milligram of semaglutide or a placebo, and were followed for 16 weeks. Taste sensitivity was measured using strips containing different concentrations of 4 different basic tastes. MRI scans were used to assess the participants' brain responses to a sweet solution before and after eating a meal, and tongue biopsies were performed to analyze genes associated with taste. I assume it's a little tiny. Does sound terrible, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Those who took semaglutide experienced improved taste sensitivity and changes in taste perception and brain activity in response to sweet tastes. Further studies are planned to explore the potential effects of semaglutide in treating obesity, change the taste sensitivity, the taste perception, and the brain's response to sweet tastes in women with obesity. New research presented this past Saturday has found. So if someone who has the disease of obesity's tongue, their taste sensitive is dulled, so you have to eat more of it to taste it.
They still taste good.
The quote from the doctor says people with obesity often perceive taste less intensely. So if you have that disease, you're eating more of it because you can't taste it. You're trying to get that high from it. Now that we can taste it,
I don't eat so much
and
of
it becomes a little sickly, right? Like,
yeah, like sweets are a little too sweet. Like I had that donut yesterday and I was like, oh, this is so sweet, but I still ate it. Normally, like the Dutch pancake, like I took 3 bites. It was very sweet. I'm like, I don't want any more of that. Whereas before I would have just eaten the whole
I
thing.
mean, it just adds in a layer. So we knew the satiety thing, so you feel full, and we know the brain thing.
But it's
Well,
got
there's
something to
also
do with your tongue.
a taste thing.
A taste thing. I think there is definitely a taste thing. Yeah, I think it definitely affects how things taste.
The doctor from Slovenia plans to do future studies, and they'll explore the potential effects of semaglutide on treating obesity and this whole taste.
Spoiler alert, it works.
But I think they're just trying to figure out the mechanics of it, because as they look at
how does it actually work?
Right, and I don't think anybody really knows. I think we keep figuring it out.
And well, if it works, Do you really care how it works?
Right.
Yeah, I
But
guess.
the question
but
isn't whether you care. The question
Right.
is that
the
doctors care, and
research
they're
cares.
leveraging that for new research
Yeah,
for the
okay.
next drug and the next drug,
Yeah,
right?
I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, these drugs wouldn't have come about were it not for these doctors.
Thank you, doctors that made
Absolutely.
Tirzepatide.
And in this case, the taste research, that's kind of cool. As always, we close out thanking you. Our subscriber rate continues to go up every time we publish a video. So that's really exciting. The interaction, the conversation is great. We love to see it. We try and answer every one of the comments. I think there's still a few out we haven't answered from being on plane, but we'll get.
I answered them today.
Oh, did you answer?
Mhm.
That's great. Think about questions because I do think we will start doing some live streams. I don't know how often, but we'll test it out. And probably the first one we'll go back and pull maybe, I don't know, 10 or 12 questions that have come up over the course of the last few months and answer those and take some questions from you guys. Look for an announcement on that. Again, thank you for being a part of our Down Sus family as we explore the world of GLP-1s and weight loss together. And what do we always ask them to do?
Please subscribe to our channel and click like and leave us a comment.
Your name is?
My name is Lorraine Durham.
I'm Christopher Durham. Until next time, take care.